Third, racist, so is infested with lice. It was having a negative impact on the business. Yeah, of course I would. I mean, Dan, you would do the same thing.
No, I absolutely would not. You don't know a thing about me if you think I would do that. I believe in free speech. I believe in a capitalist society. We were paying customers to your restaurant. What you're effectively saying is that only people who have a particular political philosophy would you welcome tagging into your restaurant. I've never heard something so offensive in my life.
So on Saturday night, Lucy Connolly and myself, alongside one of our barrister friends and Lucy's brilliant husband, Ray, who you will have seen on Outspoken numerous times. He's a Conservative Party councillor, and our very good friend, you know, pretty much the only decent human being still working in the mainstream media, Allison Pearson. There we all were, went for dinner. And this dinner was long planned, and it was to celebrate, Lucy, wasn't it? The fact that this time a year ago, you were in prison for having sent one post on X. We were all feeling that pain, like so much of the country, and Ray was obviously fighting harder than anyone, but we'd been fighting here on Outspoken, and Allison had been fighting, and it was really just to celebrate freedom, and also, I think, celebrate the fact that actually how incredible the past year has been. Of course, it's been so hard for you, but you spent the weekend speaking at a Reform UK event, back in a Pink Ladies event. It's like you took what was very clearly an unfair prosecution and turned it into something positive. But this was a really personal night out for us, long planned. We had a wonderful time. And like you do, I was on my way home and I'd had a couple of wines and I was looking at the lovely picture of us and I thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it because, you know, we do have so much to celebrate compared to where we were a year ago. And on Instagram, Lucy, I do what you usually do, right? I didn't even really think about it. I tagged in the restaurant that we'd been at, and the restaurant is Joe Allen, and I'd been telling you about it, hadn't I? Because it's like this old school sort of like celebrity and showbiz haunt where, like, back in the day, you know, some of the greats like Ronnie Wood would go there to get engaged, and I never had any understanding that that would like offend them or that it was a woke restaurant or anything like that. And in fact, Lucy, even when I'd arrived at the restaurant, like one of the guests sitting at the table next to us had like come up to me and said, oh, I love your show, Dan, and I really support everything you've done. So I don't know about you, if I was just like not picking up the signs, but on the night, I didn't sense anything like as if we were not welcome there. Or if, I mean, did you?
No, not at all. It was a fab night and everyone just seemed to be minding their own business, getting on with their own thing. I didn't pick up, you know, on anyone staring or giving us funny looks. Like you said, and people just enjoying their time, seemed really, you know, jovial. And no, I didn't feel uncomfortable at all the whole time we were in there.
No, I didn't at all either. And so then what happened this morning, I have to be honest, totally shocked me. I received a call from a number I didn't recognize on my personal mobile phone. And I did answer it. I don't usually do that. And the guy said he's the general manager for Joe Allen, the restaurant. And initially I was like, oh, maybe he's like saying, oh, you've left something behind or there's an issue with the bill. And then I even ludicrously, you'll laugh when you actually hear what happened. Ludicrously, I even thought, oh, maybe he's really grateful that I posted the picture. Because like on YouTube, Lucy, we had like 10,000 likes and people were saying really lovely things. I'm like, oh, maybe he's going to invite us back or something like that. But no. He was calling to say that I must take the picture down because his clientele, Lucy, on their Facebook page were mortally offended about the fact that you and me and Allison Pearson had gone in for a dinner and just like any ordinary person had posted that moment on Instagram. Now, the call is extraordinary, and I did think a lot before sharing it, and I want to let everyone know that I did ask this man, Tommy, who is the general manager of Joe Allen, I did ask him to appear on the show tonight because I was more than happy to have a dialogue with him. He politely declined to do that. So I wanted to share the conversation because I think it says so much about a couple of things. The woke mind virus absolutely infiltrating itself into every area of life, but also how trolls, right? How absolutely horrible trolls, who Lucy described us as racist rats, have so much power because they've terrified this man into thinking that we are actually doing bad business for him.
But are they his clientele?
Well, no.
I very much doubt that any one of those trolls on Facebook, Wokebook as it is now, has ever been or ever will go to Joe Allen's, because, you know, they're too busy sitting behind their phones and their laptops firing off tweets about people being fat and racist.
100%.
So, you know,
and they're probably vegans.
I very much doubt that they will ever go there.
100%. They're vegans. And, you know, by the way, and thank you very much, you know, Lucy and Ray shouted us this dinner, you know, but it was a pretty expensive bill, okay? Like, I was downing the wine. But anyway, I want to show you what happened, and then I'll bring you back in, Lucy, and we'll also get reaction from Lauren the Inside, who's on our superstar panel today. So listen to this call. A very quick but personal message from me to you to let you know that the best way you can support Dan Wootton Outspoken is to subscribe to my Substack at www.outspoken.live. Substack is a free speech platform that protects me from big tech cancellation and lawfare. Paid annual or monthly subscribers get an extra hour of content with the Royal Uncancelled After Show available every weekday with no advertising whatsoever. You can also message me direct on there. That's www.outspoken.live.
And it's just that, and obviously it's not the look. It's not the look I'm sort of going for.
So sorry.
I don't really know what to do.
So sorry. We've come in for dinner. I just want to check, you don't, there's no picture ban at your restaurant?
No, not at all. No, it's not anything to do with that, Dan. It's just...
So what are you asking? Why usually restaurants like the publicity when people tag their... Why on earth, what are you saying? What do you mean?
Well, no,
Please just explain from the start. I need to understand what you're saying.
Well, no, I've just woken up this morning and I've gone to our Facebook account, our company Facebook account, and there are people that are now leaving messages on our Facebook. I mean, I can just read some to you now. One says, Joe Allen's avoid happy to. I mean, this isn't something that I agree with, as in what's being said, but I'd just like to throw a damage limitation on it. One person put onto our site, serves racist, so is infested with rocks. I mean, that's just one post that I've got so far.
And you thought it was a good idea, did you, because of some trolls, to call up a paying customer to your restaurant and read them out the troll post? Do you have a problem with me eating in your restaurant?
No, not at all. I mean, this is a very difficult situation for us as a small independent restaurant. I would just sooner just be taken.
Well, I've been eating at your restaurant for years. So what? So
no, I understand that.
And trust me, I will never be coming back again. But I'm really trying to understand why on earth you would ask someone to take down the tag of a post. You do understand you're an attitude like that, you're buying into the sort of North Koreanization of the United Kingdom. I'm in there. What's your issue? Can you just be clear? What's your issue? I'm so.
My issue, Dan, isn't the post, and it's not your post, and my issue isn't you celebrating in Joe Allen's or anything like that. It's just obviously there are people in the world that have been offended by whatever, and no, I don't agree with it. But the backlash on the restaurant is that I don't want people to. I don't want us as a restaurant to be trolled by anybody, really. That's not what we're about. I mean, we're not a social media style restaurant anyway.
So would you ask people if they were from the Green Party, for example, or anyone on the left? Would you think it would be appropriate for you to call them up and ask them to take their post down?
I would call anybody. I would call anybody to ask them if they could just take it down if it had a negative impact on the restaurant itself, or if it was having a negative impact on the business. Yeah, of course I would. I mean, Dan, you would do the same thing.
No, I absolutely would not. You don't know a thing about me if you think I would do that. I believe in free speech. I believe in a capitalist society. We were paying customers to your restaurant. What you're effectively saying is that only people who have a particular political philosophy would you welcome tagging into your restaurant. I've never heard something so offensive in my life. And actually,
no, I'm not saying that.
no. You are saying that. You've literally called up a paying customer to your restaurant and asked them to take down a tag of your restaurant. So that is exactly what you're doing. I find it highly offensive. I think you need to man up, ignore a few horrible trolls, and you should have been absolutely grateful to have us in your restaurant. And I'll now be actively telling people like us are not welcome in your restaurant. And by the way, we're just ordinary people. I mean, I'd love to know what you think makes myself, Allison Pearson, Lucy Connolly, a top barrister, and a conservative counsellor, inappropriate people.
I don't think you're inappropriate people.
Sir, you've literally called me. You've literally called me out of the blue on a Monday morning, on my mobile phone, having eaten in your restaurant. We paid. How much was our bill on Saturday night?
£390.
So we paid £390 to eat in your restaurant. Rather than being grateful, you're calling me up and saying you want me to remove a tag on a social media post.
What I'm saying, Dan, is I'm saying that...
No, just clarify. That is why you called.
You're going on in circles. All I'm saying is that...
Well, no, you called me. You called me. Well, look, I'm not taking the tag off. I'm not taking the tag off. Feel free. You can ban me. You can ban me from coming to your restaurant in the future. Because trust me, it really wasn't a great experience, and this really is the worst possible experience. And I'll be talking about this on my show today. So thank you very much for your call.
Okay, no worries. Thank you very much, Tom. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
And I did ask him on. And I have to say, Lucy, the food had gone seriously downhill. I'm just saying. But how did you feel listening to that? I mean, for me, Lucy, you can see the funny side of it, but it is quite chilling. I just couldn't believe that he's like rung up a customer whose, party has spent £390. And he's like, oh, by the way, some of my other apparent social media followers think you're racist rats. I mean, it's nuts.
Where's his integrity and his morals? He quite clearly says to you, Dan, I don't agree with this. But however, I'm going to ring you up and tell you to take it down anyhow. I mean, what is wrong with these people? Like, there's no words for this, is there? You're, like you said, prepared to ring up a paying customer, a regular paying customer, and offend them because trolls on Facebook are offended. Is that have I got that right?
Yeah. And he just wants to avoid offense. I mean, Lauren, what was your reaction to that phone call? But first, the number one worst fruit for your waistline. Are you turning healthy fruits into highly unhealthy fruits without even realizing it? Fruit can be one of the healthiest things you can put into your body, but the majority of Americans are guilty of making this single mistake that can counteract all of the health benefits of fruit. Some fruits help with occasional constipation, reduce bloating, and even help burn calories. Others can wreak havoc on your digestive system and energy levels. I came across this viral presentation from world-renowned surgeon Dr. Stephen Gundry that showcases the 3 fruits to stop eating today. And it was shocking. I had no idea. And after finding it out, I've stopped eating these too. I'm going to put a link for you all to watch it because I want you to gain this information. I think it's truly important. You can watch it right now at thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. That's thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. I also linked it in the description box below the video too, so make sure to click on it or just go to thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. Oh, and by the way, Eliminating these fruits could forever change the way we help increase energy levels, decrease brain fog, support digestion, and even lose weight. So make sure to click below or go to thehealthyfat.com/outspoken to find out now. Dr. Gundry has lost 70 pounds himself using his research and has kept the weight off for over 20 years and counting. His digestive issues are gone, his health is fantastic, and he feels younger and healthier today than he did in his 40s. His video has been watched by over 20 million people to date, and you can watch and learn more about it at thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. It's linked at the bottom of this video, but he'll teach you exactly how he has kept his weight off for free at thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. Just click on the link in the description below the video. But now, back to the show.
I am disgusted by this because what he has done is he's fallen, to part of cancel culture and the woke mind virus. But he would do well to remember that at Unite the Kingdom, there were over 3 million patriots on the ground. 3 million people that I would say agree with the very sentiment of what yourself and Lucy do, Dan. And so he will not get our money. And I would urge all patriots that keep that money in your back pocket. It is absolutely disgusting that he is obviously taking snippets and a distorted image of what he's read in the mainstream media. And you know what? My second Christmas wish after Rupert Lowe and Ben Habib joining is that this restaurant closes, because it does not deserve to take money from paying customers when it is judging people and weaponizing their political beliefs. So I will keep my fingers crossed that they go bankrupt by the 1st of January, because that is what they deserve.
Well, it's funny. Darren Donaldson, who's part of our Dan Wootton Outspoken Club on X, he's just sent me this, and it must be one of those grok creations of us saying boycott Joe Allen.
That.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it, Lucy? But it's a shame. I mean, Lucy, since you've been released from prison, have you had any other experiences like this?
No, this is the thing that everybody.
Well, I think it was me then, okay? I think it's about me.
No. I don't think it is. It's just that online trolls are very different to those in life. Look, we know from the recent polls that the Labour and the left are doing incredibly badly at the minute. We know that if there was an election tomorrow, the likelihood is that Reform would win. We know all of these things. So we know for a fact that actually, what I'm trying to say is read the room. People are really unhappy with things in the UK at the minute. We are the silent majority, and unfortunately, the minority are so loud online, and they make everybody believe that this is what everybody thinks and this is what everybody wants. But if that's the case, why are they trying to hold off the elections in May? If that's the case, why are the parties like Reform, like Rupert's movement, like Ben Habib's party, why do they grow in numbers every single day? I think this restaurant's made a really grave mistake.
Well,
I think
indeed.
this will come back to bite them on their arse. And good, I'm with Lauren. Go bankrupt, because I don't want to support businesses like you that support this kind of mindset.
Well, indeed. And look, already today, there's been a huge reaction to this, even though I only posted this on X like an hour ago. True Conservative Media, Chris Davies has said, "Oh dear, Joe Allen, you've messed with the wrong puppy in Dan Wootton. You need to grow a pair of cojones and tell the trolls where to get off, or tell the truth. If it is as simple as disliking your customers' politics, this is known as doing a Hawksmoor, Patriots one to avoid." Mike Graham just wrote, "Quite extraordinary." Grifty from the Griff Report said, "This is outrageous. Everyone, please share if you can." Sarah White said, "Joe Allen, you're going to face far more backlash for standing with the woke-minded left-wing fascists than you realize. I urge everyone to be brave, stand up for what is right, and stop blindly following whatever happens to be fashionable." Donna Louise wrote, "This is disgraceful. Boycott Joe Allen's." From Stephen Barrett, "This is giving in to political violence, which only encourages more political violence. The cowardice is how we got here." Nick Marcel Tanconi of UKIP said, everyone be sure to call Joe Allens and tell them sensibly what you think of their cowardly and discriminatory behaviour towards Dan, Lucy and Allison for posting a pic. And he's posted a phone number there, 0207 836 0651. That's the number that Nick posted. Gurmeet Singh just called it sickening. June Slater, sanctimonious BS, wrong on every level. Russell Quirk, totally outrageous to be cancelled by a restaurant for attending as paying customers as people with sensible views shared by the majority of the public. We must not let the left dictate who we are, where we can go, and what we believe. Baldy Boy, I'm the owner, Dan, and I haven't got a problem with it whatsoever, but some people here have. Will tell them people to piss off, go woke, go broke. From Emma Kenny, this is a very bad sign of what's to come if people give in to those refusing to allow others their beliefs. Dan Allah had every right to be there, and the restaurant shouldn't be put under pressure to police their clientele. Professor Norman Fenter, shocking response to Dan Wootton by Joe Allen Restaurant after Dan, Allison Pearson and Lucy Connolly had a meal there. And from Bernie Spoffworth, the extremist hunters are modern day witchfinders. Anyone who doesn't agree with their worldview, hunted down and destroyed, fight back. Millions of ordinary people stand with you. Be more like Dan. Oh, thank you, Bernie. And the thing is, Lauren, I did feel I had to fight back here, and people will maybe think I'm being extreme here, but this is the thin edge of the wedge, because think of where this leads. Think of what happened to Charlie Kirk. Honestly, there are direct links. You know, conservatives in America were being banned from restaurants 5 years ago. Okay? There is a clear correlation of where this leads, and it's dark.
Yeah, I mean, would he have done that to someone in a burqa? No, he wouldn't. Would he have done it to someone in a headscarf? No, he wouldn't. But he thinks it's okay to do it to you, and it's not. And Dan, I'm so fed up of, in our Christian country, we now have so many people having festive parties because apparently Christmas is offensive. So do you know what I'm going to do? After this show, I'm ordering myself a Union Jack tracksuit and I'm going to carry a little Christmas tree, and I don't give a toss who I offend, because like you say, the very fact that, you know, anyone would say this wasn't a big deal, this is actually a huge deal, because it starts here and we know where it leads, and it's dangerous.
100%. 100%. That was my point. Oh, gosh, Lucy, we know how to cause a bit of trouble, don't we? But we had a great night.
It's always us, isn't it?
It's always us. It's always us. But I mean, it's exhausting sometimes. But like at the same time, I just refuse to go quietly on this stuff now. Like, I would rather not be welcome at any restaurant. You know, I don't give a damn, but I will not sit back and watch this type of two-tier society emerge. And I mean, in my view, restaurants have to know, if you play this type of bullshit, then we're going to call you out. But Lucy, what a brilliant day to have you making your superstar panel debut. You were absolutely brilliant, and amazing to have you alongside Lauren Lunn Farrow, whose brilliant channel, Lauren the Insider, is a must subscribe to on YouTube. Lauren, Lucy, we will see you both very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And of course, we will be revealing today's greatest Britain Union jackass in just one moment. First, to your feedback, though, lots of it coming in. Ian Medford at 4855 says, an army, and this is in regards to Ant Middleton's warning, an army is a group of armed men with a common purpose. They brought in the manpower first, next they'll bring in the weapons, and proof a hostile invasion force appears from nowhere. Anthony Whiteman says, when is our country and our people going to wake up and stand up for our rights? It is clear that this Labour government does not give a shit about us, and they will not listen. Greens, Labour and Tories out. MD on our new superstar panelist said, clever. Lucy Connolly is now a thorn in Starmer's life. What a right tool he is. And Simon Brandy says, 9662 says, I wish Dan could get Mike Graham and Tommy Robinson to shake hands and move on. Tommy has been persecuted for years, so I get his grievance and why he goes on the attack. But Mike is not the enemy. Sort him out, Dan. Well, of course, I have offered, and my offer stands, to host them both for a respectful discussion on Outspoken. I really think it would be. And Scotty John says, boycott Joe Allens, and Juliet Johnson says, Narinder Kaur and James O'Brien will probably start promoting Joe Allen now, which is a hilarious take on it, and unfortunately may be true. Okay, a reminder of your Union Jackass nominees: Kevin Holland-Rake, the Conservative Party chair, for comparing the new reform merch, to the Nazis. Zach Polanski, nominated by Matt Cass 48 for his trans extremism. And Meghan Markle, nominated by Thanks a Lot 412 for saying that she is cosplaying Princess Diana. Okay, and I don't have the results here. Do we have the results in somewhere? If someone just let me know. In third place is Kevin Holland-Rake with 9% of the vote. The runner-up is Meghan Markle with 29% of the vote. But today's Union Jackass with what percentage of the vote? 62%. The Green Party leader, Zach Polanski. Now, today's Greatest Britain is one close to my heart, and some of you have already been absolutely brilliant in your support of this over the past few days. But it's George, and George is an incredible 15-year-old, nominated today by Kaz Quinn. And George is a son of a friend of mine who had a very difficult start in life, actually, and spent a lot of time in his early days in hospital. And he has now just been diagnosed with a very rare form of cancer, and he's going to be spending Christmas at London's UCL hospital with lots of other brave youngsters who are fighting cancer. And we just want to give them the best Christmas party ever. George's amazing dad, Rob, who is a friend of mine, started this fundraiser. It has caught like fire, which means they're going to be able to do something incredible with it. So if you do want to support George, all you need to do is just scan that QR code. And it's not just George, actually. It's all of the youngsters who are going to be at UCL at Christmas time with cancer. Just give them an incredible party. I would be ever so grateful. And I loved this suggestion from Darren Donaldson, by the way, who said, I think Joe Allen, the restaurant, should donate the total of the bill, £390, to the fundraiser for George. What an appalling way to treat paying customers. I will be avoiding. And I just think that is such a good idea, Darren. And if Joe Allen has any sense, they will agree to do that.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.